Good afternoon. Welcome to our first coaches call for 2023. Can you believe that? So welcome to this call. It is, I nearly said 2023, but it is 2023. We look forward to journey with you this year. I'm going to allow the coaches to quickly say hello before we start the call today. I'm going to ask the coaches to say hello. And before we ask them to say hello, allow me to, on behalf of Carl, say sorry for him not being on the call. Our previous call with all 5 coaches in the room, Carl was at his own brother's funeral, so he wasn't on the call. And today, Carl is on a funeral of his wife's boss. So Carl is at the funeral at this very moment again. And we trust that he will not have to endure that again this year. But so we think of Carl, and he sends his best wishes and regards for you for 2023. But let's start this and go. Marius, Tertius, Nico, and just everybody say hello and tell the team or wish the team well for 2023. Thank you, Marius.
Hello. Is that all, Ronnie? No, I just want to tell you guys, Happy New Year, Happy Easter, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, and all those happy days. If I don't do it again this year, I already did it. I'm so looking forward to this year. This year is definitely going to be a great year. Last year was a great year with lots of challenges. But if you're not on a higher level than you were last year, then there's something wrong. So it is always great to tackle the year, to go into the year with energy and passion. And yeah, Daniel, I will stand next to the road now and give the other guys a chance.
Good. Thank you, Marius. Tertius.
Yeah, from my side also, welcome, folks. Looking forward to this year. I agree with Mark.
Yes, folks. Sorry, Tertius, I have to interrupt you. Yes, guys, girls, it is Tertius. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 Tertius.
Yeah, I think just latching on to what Morris says about being at a new level. I think a new level has a new devil. Let's not think that this is going to be a year of breezing through it. I think it's going to be an exceptional year. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for folks to take advantage of, but we need to be ready for those. And I think last year and the year before, we've been preparing ourselves. And I think we need to recognize and be grateful for the fact that we are able to be prepared, be a lot more prepared than a lot of folks out there, because a lot of folks are in a tough spot. Yeah, we'll carry on chatting a little bit further now. So over to you, Nico.
Yeah, thanks, Tertius. From my side as well, I can only wish you the same, that this will be an incredible year. It holds, like every year, it holds a lot of surprise things that we don't expect that will come our way, but other things that we can make happen as well. I'm still getting out of the blocks slowly this year. Hopefully by the end of the month, I will be there. But for now, I still believe that the capacity that has been grown in each one of us is sufficient for us to do the greatness and live the greatness that we are meant to live. And we will not disappoint. We've come to where we are here now, and everything has been built in us. Never forget to look back and think about the greatness that has come through sweat and blood and tears and prayers. And it's there and it lives in us. So may that potential be released. If there's any wish or dream or blessing that I can give you, it's that potential will be released this year to tackle and do what you need to do this year. Thanks, Don.
Cool. Thank you, Nico, and thank you, Tertius. Yes, I'm excited for 2023. I believe this is the year of our testimony, and this year we're going to create a testimony and live a testimony that will change other people's lives with ours. So I look forward to this year, and I trust that every one of you will have an exceptional year. And today, as when the coaches talked about how to approach today, and we will have an open mic later. But first, we're going to just go to every coach and just hear from the coach in their discipline what they think about what is important for today, for you as a message. And welcome, everybody. It's a privilege to serve you. It's a privilege to serve you in 2023. And thank you for everyone that made the effort to be on the call today. But let's jump to our Waymarker coach. And when we started this, he said he definitely needs and wants to be first. So allow the Waymarker coach to show us the way and just getting our heads around 2023. Thank you, Marius.
Yes, Daniel, thank you. You were talking, my aircon just started up and I've got aircon power again, so it is great. I was a bit in the dark. Yeah, my vision for this year for myself, and I hope and wish I can get it over to you as well, is I always begin on the 1st of January. I don't wait to the 2nd or the 3rd. I can't wait because I'm a guy that either goes this way or that way. And I know that you can't grow in a comfort zone. So my word for the year is warrior. And what is a warrior? What is a soldier? It's a person that trains every day. It's a person that has discipline. It's a person that has, what is our word? Resilience. I immediately after the nice holiday decided, listen, it is time to wake up at 5 o'clock again and start with all my word declarations and everything that I did last year. I slacked in December. I always take off December and have a great holiday and just have a rest. But while I was taking off on the physical side, I was reading books and preparing for this year. The word that I just want to give you this year is be a warrior, be resilient, have discipline. Make sure that you wake up every morning, make up your bed, make sure that everything is in place. Tertius, you with your implementation, one of the first sessions that you did is have a look at your table, your working table. How does that look? So my wife and I, we went through our books. We read a lot of books in our lifetime, but there's a library full of books that just lying there. Where we work through that books and see, listen, where is the books that we can give away? There was about 5 people already at our home. There were stacks of books that we just gave away and just cleaned up and spring clean the house, spring clean everything, make sure and spring clean here. This is the most important. That is my word. That is my vision for me, for myself, and also for you. Have that disciplined life and make sure that every second of your life this year counts.
Cool. Thank you, our Waymarker coach, Marius. And I think that is a mouthful. Let me jump in there, and I'm not going to try and compete with Marius, but let me jump in here and ask you, and I've put it in the chat box, what is your current pain? I don't want you to sit and spend too much time on what is your current pain. I don't want you to go and overthink that. But what is your current pain? The moment that you see or hear, what is your current pain? It immediately pops up. It's an immediate reaction. So if you have a current pain, a current something that is bugging you, that pain will jump up and Juggy immediately said, focus. He's got a problem or a pain. His current problem is he is, I assume, lacking in focus, Juggy. Otherwise, it would not have been a pain. Because if you had laser-like focus like Marius, that's not a pain. Oh, okay, so let me not go there. But if you have laser-like focus, that's not a pain. But my question that I want you to just dwell on one little bit, and that is, how would you feel like if that pain was taken away? What will it feel like? Just think for one moment. If we can just now immediately take away that pain, what will it feel like? Will you recognize it when that pain is away? Sometimes people live in a pain, they live with a pain, and they don't even know when that pain disappears. They don't even know when that issue disappears. They don't even know what that problem is. And I have a very short-term pain at the moment because 1 o'clock last night, there was a huge bang in our area. The electricity went out and the electric substation across from our house blown up last night at 1. And until now, there was not a single person of Tshwane yet to come and inspect the damage to see what to do. So I'm here on my UPSs, my battery backup powers have all told me that I have to make another plan. So I had to start the generator to be on the call with you. But that's a short-term pain. To take that away is simple. I'm not talking about that. What's the pain that has kept you from achieving last year? What's that pain that's in your life now? Maybe it's a different pain. But what will it feel like if that pain is taken away? Will you recognize it? If we overnight, one evening, take that pain away, will you recognize it? Is that pain so severe that you're spending time on it and that it's really impacting your life? Because you know what? A lot of the pain that people will say, this is my pain at the moment. When you start thinking about it, when you start talking to someone about it, when you really spend time on it, you realize that it's no pain. It's actually just something that's bugging me. It's not really something. It's not something holding me back. But while you're not attending to it, it stays a pain. Because what I would like to get to is, what are you willing? The last question, and trust me, this is the last question. But what are you willing to give for that pain to go away? If you have a pain, what is your willing? If you have an irritation in your life, if you have something that needs change, if you need something that needs an outcome now, what are you willing to give? Because I have to give something to get rid of an issue. I have to give something. What is it that you're willing to give? And be careful to what you say. Be careful what you think, what you allow yourself to think. What are you willing to give to your pain? We can just think the pain can be a person, and then what do I give to get that person away? The key is, what will you willing to give? What are you willing to do? Because for 2023, we need to make sure that every time we identify something that's stopping us, holding us back, something stopping me from achieving the best self, something that's curtailing who I am. The moment that you have that, the moment that you identify that, for 2023, my wish for you is that you will immediately go sit, but how will I identify that pain is away? Now, what am I willing to do to get rid of that pain? What am I willing to do to get rid of that pain? What am I willing to invest? Time, energy, effort. What am I willing to invest? Marius just told us he's going to read more books, and he read a significant number of books. He had that on his desk on a Facebook post. And what are you willing to do this year? What are you willing to give to get rid of the pain? What is that pain? What's that one thing? Some of us on the school had this discussion a few years back, and the pain was finances. And by purely identifying it and go say, but you know what, I need to go work on this. I need to go, what am I willing to give to get rid of this pain? And today that pain is gone. Finance, there's pain, but it's not finance. And that's the beautiful part. We can change that. We have to. Maria said, get up early. It's not easy to get up 5 o'clock in the morning again after the holiday, but it's now, that's the case. Because we're not in holiday mode anymore. We've changed. I'm willing to get up at 5 again. It's part of what am I willing to give to get rid of the pain. And so we can go do a host of things. And that's not what it's here about. I want you to get rid of the pain, the obstacles in your life, to be in 2023 the successful, full complement of who you can be, who you created to be. And we need to get rid of the pain immediately. And that's my round for this year, is to get rid of the pain immediately. Nico, let me stop here and say, what do you have up the sleeve for us?
Yeah, you're talking to my heart. Yeah, it's, I think, just to reflect on what you're saying, the challenge that it poses to me, the things that you talk about, to get rid of the pain, it brings it to me to do something about it. And it's within my power to do something about it. So it's just a matter for me to take hold of it and to get rid of this pain and to grow it out of my life. I think pain is in any case there to help us to grow, much more than it is there to destroy us. So even though it's something we don't want and I don't want it in my life, mine is also lack of focus, ill discipline with certain, not committed to a process sometimes. That's the pain that I would like to get rid of this year. And I'm definitely going to do that. To do that, I've got a kind of a list of things that I've been thinking about. I would like Marius, to read more this year. Reading has got this wonderful effect on me. When I read, it puts me in a different mindset. I want to exercise more. I've been very slack the past year or two with my exercises, and I actually enjoy being fit. I want to become fit again. I want to laugh more. I do think I take life a bit too serious more often than not. Just to laugh more, just to laugh more at myself, and laugh more at mistakes that I would make instead of punishing myself for mistakes that I make. And I would like to give more. If I have to give, I would like to give more. I do want to love more. I think it's part of my pursuit in kind of overall in general to love more, to grow more like the one that I love and that I follow. And one can easily define him as love. And I do want to reflect more and also rest more. It's good to give yourself time just to digest what you've learned, digest what you have gained, digest what you have gone through when you look back on it, and look at all the gold that has been purified during that process. So I think if I follow that, which I know it's obviously possible, it's not unrealistic kind of posture or goals, objectives, things that I would like to achieve. I think it will minimize and even eradicate the pain that I sit with of my being unfocused or ill-disciplined or not following through. And I think it's good things. It's good things. It grows me.
Oh, thank you, Nico. Thank you, Nico, for those wise words. And Nico is wearing his pain on his arm today. He's looking for sympathy from all the girls because he's got his plaster with his little sticky plaster with his band on his arm, to looking for some love. So thank you, Nico. Yes.
The love comes in if you've observed that.
Cool. So I was supposed to hand it over to Tertius and not to Nico, so my apology for the two of you for me getting that wrong. But at least now I've done it for this year. I'm out of it, and you are rid of that pain. Tertius, please, buddy.
Yeah, not a problem at all, Donnie. I just also want to touch on what you've spoken about, the pain. One of the pains that I was experiencing and working on over it's been probably like 2 or 3 years now, but recognized the fact that because I wasn't a habit of doing something, that I would procrastinate and fall back and have to start all over again. And throughout this holiday period, I've been getting up at 5 a.m. I've been doing my exercises as I wanted, because I recognized beforehand that if I don't apply the discipline and don't keep the habit, it's going to be hard for me to start doing it again. So even though it wasn't every single day, it was most of the days, and it stayed part of my discipline. But I want to share with you a little bit about the time that I spent with myself preparing for this year. I think Donnie was saying about our testimony, and Mario spoke about our word and what have you got planned for 2023. And I like what Maurice was saying, that his vision is to be a warrior. Because a warrior is that person who continually is prepared. If the battle comes, he's ready. But on the other hand, maybe, hopefully the battle won't come. It's not necessary to always battle. And the fact that he's chosen warrior and not fighter is, I said to him, when he shared it with me, I said to him, it's for me suddenly a great distinction. You're not ready to fight. You're prepared for war, but you're a warrior, which means you're in practice and you're preparing to defend and attack when necessary. For me, the word that I shared with my clients and friends and so on was that, well, let's go back one step more. For me, my word is to bless people. I want to bless more people this year, and I want to do it in an active way which is relevant to them. And the first thing that came through for me was that I wish for you whatever you wish for yourself in 2023. And here again, I want to latch on to what Donnie was sharing. What would it be like? We've got our dreams. Morris has taken us through that whole dream goal setting. We've got that dream. What would it be like? What would it feel like emotionally? What would it feel like to say, I have actually achieved everything I set out to achieve in terms of my dream? What would you feel like at the end of 2023? And my wish for you is that according to your faith, according to what you've put down on paper for yourself, that would be your outcome for 2023. Whatever you wish for yourself, whatever you believe for yourself, the faith that you have for yourself, that it will be that and more. And I think I was browsing through the attendees, and I'm on my phone, so it's not as easy as on the laptop, but I think we all have the same or very similar faith. And that word came for me out of a passage in Matthew where the centurion approaches Jesus and says, look, I know I'm a Roman, but I have this servant at home who is ill. But I understand authority. I know how these things work, and you have authority in the spiritual realm. If you would just touch my servant, I know he will be healed. And Jesus turned around and said to him, go home. It will be as you have believed. You don't need some special intervention. I don't have to come to your house. It's your faith that activated me. And I'd like to bless you by saying, may it be with you as the faith you put out there. And Nico was saying, look back and look at the stuff that linked to that. I also very strongly feel there's another scripture that came through from Luke, where Jesus said to the man, no man who looks back is fit for the kingdom. And the passage goes, he says, anyone who's laid his hand to a plow and looks back is not fit. And that has a very close meaning for me coming from an agricultural background, because when you set a plow, when you start plowing, you need to choose something on the horizon, choose some sort of beacon, and that's what you aim at. And you don't even look, you don't look whether the plow is deep enough, whether it's catching, whether it's not catching. You do not look back, because the moment you look back, your natural tendency is to turn that steering wheel and there's a kink. And when you come, the tractor's wheel follows the kink, and it follows the kink. And by the time you've reached the end of the land, you've got a whole curve in your land. So I want to challenge you, don't look back. When you set your course, don't look back. Yes, look back, see the successes, recognize the failures, look at the plans you need to put in place. But when you set your course, do not look back. Set your course and get going in that direction, because the way that you start off will determine the way that the end result will look like. So that's just from me. And I'd like to bless you with that saying, may it be for you according to your faith for this year. Thanks, Donnie.
Oh, thank you, Tertius. Wise words. And thank you, coaches. The Zoom call, the mics are open. If there's any one of you that would like to unmute and add, contribute, this is now an open discussion. The coaches has given you their thoughts for the start of 2023, and let's discuss this or not. If you don't want to discuss it, it's cool. Then we just get off the call and go and have lunch. But we are here. Anyone that would like to unmute and add, contribute? Stephen, I see that you're unmuted.
Thank you. I think that all this is really great. And last year was good. And last year I made progress. In retrospect, some of that progress was built on sand. It wasn't built on rock. And you all probably know the scripture to which I'm referring. But in reflecting on the year, I realized that some of that foundation that I built, even though I made the progress, perhaps I didn't do it in a way that was on the rock. So my goal is, yes, don't beat myself up about that happened last year. I did make progress, I did go forward. But this year is to look to build that same progress on the rock. Thank you. That's my 2 cents.
Cool. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Yeah, we need to recognize that sometimes. Catherine, I see that you're unmuted.
Hi. Tertius, I just want to say that the Centurion story has always been close to my heart. I've always loved that story. It's always fascinated me how the faith of the Centurion has just always been close to my heart. And one of the things that for this coming year, one of my goal setting for Marius, first 7 categories, I try to work through them this time. One of my goals is faith, to grow my faith. I just feel that we're going into tough times, and the only way we're going to get through it is if we grow that personal relationship with Jesus and hold on to him. That's the only way we're actually going to get through what is coming for us. So that's something that I'm wanting to grow and to become more of a prayer warrior as well. That was my other thing. But the 3 words I just had for myself, or just for my year, is determination, intentional, and consistent. Because this last year, I've had to do a lot of change in my thinking and my perceptions, and there's been a lot of change. And this year, starting a new job, I have to redo my schedule, and I'm going to have quite a tight schedule to achieve what I want to try achieve this year. So yeah, so that's just my little blurb.
Cool. Thank you, Catherine. It's lucky to have you on video mode and mute and able to contribute and not sit in the office with other people. So well done. Thank you for that share and that personal share. It's always appreciated. Someone else was unmuted earlier, but I did not catch the name. Willie, I see that you're unmuted now.
Yes, sorry, Donnie. Sorry, Willie.
Yes.
Just before you move on, just to what Catherine's just said, something that was like a revelation for me a number of years ago. I read a book by Scott Peck, and he starts off the book with a very short sentence, which is, life is hard. And then he continues and says, but once we've recognized that it's life that's hard, it's not so hard anymore, because I tend to feel that life is hard on me and that I'm the victim. But life is hard. So I just want to leave that with you. That was an eye-opener for me.
Cool. Thank you, Tertius. Sorry, Willie. Go, buddy.
Thanks. Hi, good to see everybody.
Go. Now we have to get you back on the air.
Oh, there's great things being said, and I think it's very good for the year ahead. For me personally, I want to take a more aggressive approach this year. So if I set a goal, I have to achieve that, which causes me now to be more careful to what I choose to set as a goal. Because once I set it, I must go for it aggressively, and not go with it with half pace. For me, I'm looking at a lot of stuff of David Goggins. Some of you are familiar with David Goggins, the fittest man in the world, as they call him. So the guy swears quite a lot, but I think sometimes you must have that attitude of kick life in the butt. and get going. If you tell yourself that you don't want to do it, you're lazy, it's just your inner soft part that is coming out, trying to dominate and put you in a comfort zone. And he said yesterday, like when your mind is in that state where you are trying to go save, your mind is closing, you have to force your mind open. So when you tell yourself, I am going to do this, you force your mind open and your mind starts to go into another mode where it will start to cooperate with what you are doing and what you are trying to achieve then. So for me, it's being more aggressive to what I want to achieve for this year.
Oh, thank you, Billy. And that's a mindset that will get you somewhere. And because Carl always quote Napoleon Hill, if you have a thought that stretches your mind, it can never come back and contract to where it was. And if you can stretch yourself and get into those goals, you will find them and they will find you. And that's the beautiful part. Hey, I see that you unmuted.
Hello, everybody. It was so good listening to what everyone has been saying, and I agree with everybody. And I just want to add on to what Daniel started off with, to say of testimony. And to have a testimony, you have to be expectant of what you are going to testify about. So I'm just excited and knowing that something big is going to happen. I'm expecting that to happen. The words that I got for the beginning of this year was a year of graduation, where tests and trials are completed. Now, in so many, I think they will always be there, but at the same time, you feel every year that you're working hard to achieve something and you never get around to it. And I just feel that 2023 is this year that things are going to fall into place and prayers are being answered and bonds are being strengthened. Yeah. I'm excited for the year. And I bless all of you with a wonderful year of being stronger and more vigorous about things to come.
Cool. Thank you, Val. Thank you for sharing that. And graduation, test and trials completed. We look forward to that. And I think you and Catherine is singing from the same hymn book. She just used other words: determination, intentional, and constant. Cool. Well done. Next.
Can I just make a comment about what Catherine? Actually, when Catherine said about growing faith this year, I immediately started to write something here, which is for me the key to build trust or confidence or faith, and that is building relationship. And when I've written it down, she said, and that is her approach. And Catherine, that's what you said. That's what you want to do, deepening your relationship and your intimacy with Jesus. And I think you can just keep on doing that, and your faith will be a fruit of that. You know, I just wanted to reflect on that.
Cool. Thank you, Nico. Any one person, William, I saw that you found that mute button. How cool is that?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, compliments of the season. The aim that I set for my life, which is basically the overarching goal that I believe that will cover all the other spheres of my life, is patience. Patience towards myself if I don't achieve or make mistakes, or achieve what I want to achieve and make mistakes, but also patience with others. I get tested by that quite regularly in terms of moving forward. And so that is one thing. And I think part of that is a soft approach that will that will definitely bring a larger scale of success in relationships. So to touch on to what Nico was saying, so patience and soft approach, that is my aim and goal for this year.
Eloquent. Thank you, William. And thank you for participating and putting that out there for every one of us. someone that still want to say something, or are we going to conclude?
Yeah, Donnie, if I can just add on something there. Yes, William, you have just challenged me seriously, because you and I have known each other for a long time. And if I have to think about William, one of the things that I can immediately say is he's such a soft person with other people. And for you to now say that you want to have an even softer approach, and for that to better your relationships, really speaks to me volume. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
Cool. That's the treasure of knowing someone's heart. Truly. Thank you, TCS, for sharing that. And let's go to the coaches and get last words from every coach for the session for today. And let's start with Marius. He's been gone for quite some time now. So Marius, last thoughts on the score.
Yeah, Daniel, I can just say that I have to listen to this recording again, because there's so many gems that came out of today's session. And yeah, my word for you this year, just take this year like a bull by the horns and make it happen. Take those goals and pursue those goals and dreams, and your pains will be less at the end of the year, or sooner than that. Awesomeness.
Thank you, Marius. Appreciate you and your contribution, and for you being here. Nico?
I just think that in this pursuit to become who you are born to be, the plan is there. The plan has been completed, so to speak. It's not as if God tries to figure out what's next for you. He already knows. It is for you and I to discover that and to live in that. But in that process, a little bit of kindness towards yourself can take you a long way, a very long way. That you don't see it just as a kind of a goal or a target to achieve, but more as a journey. I know some people are more focused on the destination. Some people are more focused on the journey. I think if we focus on both, it helps us more.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. That sounded like a Nico insight into that. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate that. And if I can quote a quote out of the chat box, TCS 2.0, your turn.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I don't have anything new to add from my side. Just to latch on with what folks have said. Stretch your faith, put it out there. Faith is being sure of something that is not yet seen. And that's what we're envisioning it. And I'm thinking of Walt Disney's wife when they actually opened Walt Disney, the first Walt Disney had the opening. They said one of the things that they're sorry about is that Walt Disney never saw Disneyland. And his wife said, but you're not correct. He saw it every single day of his life. That, see that what you want for yourself at the end of 2023 and extend your faith and then go for it. That will energize you. That's it from me. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thank you, TCS. And yes, that's so true. Walt did see Disney World all along. But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our session with all the coaches in the room. Carl is not being here due to the fact that he's attending someone's funeral, and our hearts go out to them and the families. But thank you for your contribution today. Thank you for participation, and we look forward to a year. 2023 is going to be a different year, and everyone, when I talk to them about 2022 and looking back at 2022, it was a tough year. For some people, it wasn't a tough year. We had one or two people on this call that said 2022 was a good year. For some people, it was a tough year. But 2023, we're not going to allow any tough to take over our definition of 2023. 2023 is our year. I bless you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. God bless.